Hello, everybody. Some old guy with MS here. Um, this video, I want to talk about investing, which I haven't talked about for a long time. And then next week, we'll probably get back into movies. So if you had paid any attention to investing, pretty much any attention to anything, you know that, you would have heard that China's third largest property developer is just about bankrupt. So for the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of discussion about this. And I've got some comments to make. Actually, when it was first mentioned that Evergrand might go bankrupt, the North American markets, anyway, everything went down about 2% across the board. Every stock I watch, and I watch about 50 or 60, every one was down on average about 2%. Well, actually, no, that's not quite true. There were two that were not down. One was Pembina Pipeline, which is marginally up, and Fortis, it was marginally up. So basically, two energy-related companies. But everything else was down. Now, the next day, everything came back up, and everything was like hunky-dory, like nothing happened. But that was more or less on the announcement that, Evergrand might go bankrupt. And since then, there's been lots of talk about what's going to happen to the world markets, Chinese market, and so on and so forth. Now, I know I don't have this quite right, but something like this. I think Evergrande had either a 60 or 600 million, 60 million or 600 million payment due a couple of days ago. And this was a payment to North American companies that had invested in Evergrande or lent it money, I guess. Probably the best description. And they didn't make it. Now, the interesting thing is, it's not actually declared a default for 30 days. So we've got, I don't know, probably about 20 more days to go before it's declared a default. Now, Evergrande did have some interest payments due to some Chinese banks and companies, and I think it did make that payment. So essentially how Evergrande got in trouble is it was borrowing tons of money, buying land, getting people to buy apartments pre built before they're built, and I guess they just kind of got caught up in that. So for the Chinese economy, it would be pretty devastating if Evergrande went bankrupt. And of course, the worry is, how is that going to affect the rest of the world? You know, the worry for us outside of China. And things are made doubly difficult because the Chinese government, the CCP, in my opinion, doesn't want to appear as though it's helping a capitalistic enterprise. So, see, China did a funny, actually a very clever and very funny thing. See, communists, on the whole, do not agree with capitalism. They're more for it should be like government owned, government controlled, and they say for the people. Oh, that part I don't believe. So the CCP needs to help Evergrande to prevent it from going bankrupt, but doesn't want to appear like it's doing anything. So it's kind of a conundrum. So what will they do? Well, what I think they will do, and of course there's lots of other pundits on the YouTube and so forth that say this also. I think the CCP, Communist CCP, anyway, the Chinese Communist Party, they control everything in China. So what I think they will do, they themselves are not going to be seen bailing out Evergrande, but they'll tell the Central Chinese Bank to tell smaller banks to either give Evergrande some breathing space, like extend the period of time where they have to make a payment, or forgive some of the loans. And one way or the other, I think that will happen. But now, what I think Evergrande will do, and sort of in conjunction with the Chinese Communist Party, is they will pay back and or try and look after local Chinese investors, or at least make it so the pain is bearable. But I think what they will do is not pay any Western loans or any Western payments that are due. So I think the effects in China will be minimal, but the effects in the West could be quite severe, especially to Western companies that have lent money to or bought, evergrande bonds. They're the ones that are going to get hit and get hurt. Now, interestingly enough, I saw another video on YouTube, where someone is looking at the Western entities that have money in Evergrande. There were like large amounts. There were like 4 or 5. I think one of them was BlackRock, which is a big investor conglomerate, I guess. And what they would have done is bought Evergrande bonds. Now, some bonds do fail if the company fails. So it's not unheard of. It's not expected, of course, but it's not unheard of. But the real one that I think is going to cause lots of grief is HSBC. HSBC, I believe, lent Evergrande money. I'm just thinking, I don't think it would be on a mortgage, because this money is for building in apartments that aren't built yet. So it's pretty hard to mortgage something that's not there. But honestly, I don't know. Maybe they've mortgaged the land. Anyway, I think they will probably default on HSBC. And HSBC is going to get hit very, very hard. And that will have ripple effects. In fact, all the Western companies that have lent or bought bonds of or invested in Evergrande, they are going to get hit. And it's going to be painful for them. The Chinese market will probably go through a little pain, but I actually don't think it'll be as bad as Western pain for those companies anyway. And that sort of brings me to my view on investing in China. I think that's pretty much the stupidest thing anyone could do. Now, having said that, I do have shares in NIO. NIO is a Chinese electric car manufacturer. And the stock's gone down since I bought it, so I'll either sell it and take a loss or maybe wait a little longer and see if it goes up any. But yeah, way back when they started opening up to the West, I guess in the 80s. Would this have been the 80s or early 90s? I think this was in the late 80s. I had bought shares in this company that had got the exclusive right to brew and sell Pabst Blue Ribbon beer in China. And for a while it was doing, well, it wasn't doing great, but it wasn't doing terrible. And then they announced that they were going to buy a brewery in China. Well, that sounded brilliant. So they borrowed all this money, bought this brewery, and then I hear that, yeah, there's some question about who owns it. And I'm like, what? How is that even possible? And then in the end, it turns out the manager they had got to run the thing ends up owning the brewery that this company I invested in, was out all the money they'd put into it, and now they didn't have a brewery. So they ended up going bankrupt. And then around the same time, me, my mom, and my dad had put money in this company that was making containers. And they had containers on ships all over the world. And they were doing pretty good, and then they announced that they were in talks with someone in China to get a whole bunch of containers built and for an extraordinarily good price. So again, they borrowed some money, gave it to this, well, I'm sure they had checks and balances in place, but essentially gave the money to this guy in China, and he disappeared. So they went bankrupt. So my personal dealings with China well, not dealings with China, but dealings with companies that invest in China, hoping to make tons of money, is not good. And, they either steal it from you or something like that. But also, what happens, I think, is a company will want to move into China. The CCP will invite them in. They'll start a factory or start production, and China will have, its people, its spies, figure out all the intellectual property, how it works. Some Chinese company will start doing it, and then the CCP will gradually push that company out of China. If you look at it right now, Facebook isn't in China. Google's not in China. That's because they've got local companies to do that. Baidu. I forget what the Facebook equivalent is, but they figure out what works, and then they do it. And when I say they, I really mean the CCP. They're the ones that encourage this and manipulate the laws so it's not criminal. Anyway, I'm sort of preaching a bit. But, well, if you're an investor, there's really two things you want to do. Make more money and protect your capital. If you invest in China, you're not protecting your capital, and all you're getting is empty promises of more money. That's my opinion anyway. I am really surprised and disheartened that Elon Musk has opened a factory in China. What I think that means is, at some point, there'll be a Chinese version that'll be almost an exact copy of Tesla, sold worldwide for less. And Tesla might disappear. Although I don't think that'll happen. I mean, Tesla is a good company. And they do have an excellent product. Anyway. So we have seen a ripple from what happened in China with this evergrand. And apparently all the other major land developers are kind of in the same pickle. And it may have a huge ripple across Western markets and Chinese markets, to be honest. I don't think it will be nothing. So invest accordingly. And I had a team leader who used to always say, take appropriate action. So if you screwed up, he'd say, well, you screwed up because you didn't take appropriate action. And if what you did turned out great, he'd say, well, it's because I did what I told them. So anyway, well, I think I've gone on and on for long enough. Oh yeah, just one other thing I wanted to say. The reason I kind of slowed down, I didn't stop, but definitely slowed down on my investing videos is because investing is kind of like watching paint dry. You know, you place your money where you think it'll do best, and then you basically wait. The market is a waiting game. So there's not a real hell of a lot to do. I do look at some of these investing channels, and they'll say, oh, you should buy this, or oh, you should buy that, or you should, well, you know what? They're telling you to buy so many damn different things that I think that means they really don't know. And if you try and do what they suggest, you'll be spread so thin that you really will not make any money. So I don't want to keep saying, oh, buy this, buy that, buy this. And general trends, they do change, but not that often or not that quickly. Yeah, you know, investing, it is sort of like painting. You watch it dry, and that's pretty much it. However, if you drip some, you got to act quickly and wipe it out. So it's sort of like investing. If you make a wrong step and invest something that's going down, you really do have to act quickly and get your money out of it. So it's sort of like, you know, wait. Hurry up, fix it. Wait. Hurry up, buy this. Wait. Check everything. Yeah, it's doing okay. Wait. Hurry up, sell this because it's going to start going down. And then wait. Anyway, that's how I see investing. So that's the end. I said my piece. I've had my rant. And yeah, I feel good. Oh, yes. Well, with all these investing videos, I must say I am not I am not an advisor. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm just some guy with MS, telling you what I think and what I may be doing. That's all. You should do whatever you want. Yeah, so I'm not an investor. And as always, please subscribe. I need subscribers. Please like the video. Please share it. And please comment, So now there's actually two things you can comment on. What do you think will happen with Evergrand and how to affect the world? What are you investing in? And also, what movie do you like? Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, wow, good for you. You deserve a prize. Okay. Can you hear that howling? Yeah, just don't mind that. So that's the end. As I said, thanks for listening. Okay, end communication. Okay, this is not for you. Start listening. Start mouse grid. 8, 8, 1. Click mouse grid. 8, 3, 3, 9. Click. Bye-bye.